Hi there, Andrew Caressi's here with AudioBro. One of the most compelling features in the Symphonic Series String Ensemble library is AudioBro's proprietary Auto Divisi. Built in at the patch level, you can play chords and lines, and our Auto Divisi intelligently distributes all the voices amongst the available Divisi sections in the patch. This maintains a realistic player count and avoids the dreaded sample buildup sound that is all too familiar in some of the other string libraries. Not only does our Auto Divisi assign the voices to the different Divisi sections for you, but it also leaves each voice's legato and portamento performance intact, resulting in natural sounding phrases. In other words, it combines polyphonic legato with Auto Divisi, and it's all done behind the scenes for you. In this tutorial, I'll play a few examples of how the Auto Divisi works and how it interacts with the setup page right here. Let's start with an example showing how the Auto Divisi works with all the violins. That would be violins 1 and 2 combined. As you'll see on the setup page, violins 1 and 2 are made up of 4 different Divisis: violins 1A, 1B, 2A, and 2B. I'll play a short passage with varying numbers of voices, and notice how the player count stays consistent at 30 violin players, all the while intelligently distributing the voices amongst the Divisi sections 1A through 2B. Now, let's go to the setup page and choose a different violin section. Here we'll choose just violins 1. Since we have Divisi A and Divisi B of violins 1, the Auto Divisi will distribute your voices to these 2 available Divisis. Notice as I play more than 2 voices, the Auto Divisi will add new players, so you will always hear all the notes you play, even if you play more notes than there are Divisi sections. This exact same principle is applied to all instruments and sections. As you can see, it's very forgiving, and you don't really have to worry about how you play for the Auto Divisi to work. It just works and does its job. However, if you want to know how it functions, here are some things to keep in mind. 1. There is a 40 millisecond chord detect window. Any notes played within 40 milliseconds of each other will be considered as part of a chord, not as separate notes or an arpeggio. 2. Any notes played after that 40 millisecond chord window will be considered a new note, and you'll hear legato and portamento transitions if applicable. And 3. Legato and portamento transitions are maintained as long as you play your new notes within 40 milliseconds of a released note. In addition to the chord detect window, there is also a 40 millisecond released note detection window. Now, most users won't even notice the 40 milliseconds latency on legato strings, but if you are sensitive to it, or you would like to compensate for it in your sequencer, most sequencers will allow you to shift a MIDI track by a certain number of milliseconds. Really, it's fairly easy to play. Just play with it a while and you'll get it under your fingers in no time. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching.